Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to voter education training. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. We understand that you quite have a lot doing this morning, being a working day or a weekend. And of course, we're just approaching Christmas in about 2 days, and people are trying to get themselves ready for that special day. However, we thought that it was important for us to have this training. Hence, this is an election period, and we are we are the 11th hour of the elections, and we need to get people ready, especially those at the grassroots. So my name is Mrs. Eddie Diong Ebigwai, and we'll be taking you through the entire journey of this program. You're welcome to voter education training. The program is brought to you by the Cross River Movement in collaboration with INEC Cross River. And basically what we seek to achieve is to equip organizations, media agencies, and individuals with tools and strategies for grassroots voter education and mobilization. And to open the floor, I'd like to welcome the founder of the Cross River Movement, Mr. Iso Bassi, to give a welcome address and tell us a little about the Cross River Movement. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mrs. Ebigwai, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. So maybe I'll start with talking briefly about the Cross River Movement. So the Cross River Movement is an organization with just about a year old, and it's a non-partisan, not-for-profit movement with the objective of improving the quality of governance in Cross River State. Amongst different initiatives are interactive sessions with stakeholders in the public sector, and then most recently we've held a series of interactive sessions with candidates vying for various offices in Cross River State. So we've had interactive sessions with governorship candidates. We've had interactive sessions also with senatorial candidates for the Southern and the Central Senatorial District. And early in January also, we've got an interactive session with the candidates, the Senate candidates for the for the Northern Senatorial District. So that's something that we're looking forward to. So that's about the Cross River Movement. Now, about today's voter education training, I think it's a very important training to be delivered, because people need to know how to vote. They need to know where to vote, and these are just very basic things. Of course, it gets far more complicated than that. And I think also very importantly, people need to know that our elections have evolved over a period of time. So if you go back to maybe the early 2000s, the late 90s, voting was characterized by, the whole electoral process was characterized by, thumb printing. We had the challenges of people snatching ballot boxes, thumb printing, and so as a result of that, I think a lot of members of the electorate lost confidence in the electoral process, and that led to a lot of apathy. And in Cross River State, if you look at recent trends, and this is not just Cross River State, but I think Cross River State is slightly worse than the national average, but you would see that maybe you have just about 23, certainly under 25% of elite actually participating in voting. So, something like that is as a result of the high level of apathy that the electorate has had towards the electoral process in Nigeria. But I think that there's good news, and I believe that the trainer from INEC, Mrs. Mobi, I think we'll probably go into that. But people have reason to be more optimistic this time around, for different reasons. So now biometrics are used to verify and validate voters. Also, the new INEC, the new Electoral Act makes a provision for the transmission of results electronically. So we've evolved. You know, I think this is one of the great stories coming out of Nigeria. We haven't stayed the same as far as our electoral practices are concerned. We've actually improved upon them. You know, so I think that whoever is participating today in this training has a huge responsibility, and you know, to be equipped with the knowledge and skills to be able to answer questions and inspire the confidence of the electorate to come out and vote. In terms of how we would judge the effectiveness of, you know, I guess the work that INEC has done and organizations participating in this training, I think it will be, I personally would be very keen on seeing the voter turnout and, you know, seeing whether it increases significantly from, you know, where it stood in 2015 and 2019. And also importantly, I think one thing that we'll be keeping our eyes on will also be the number of invalid votes. So we hope that those would decrease significantly. So I think on that note, I will, you know, just wish every participant here today, you know, good learning and wishing well with all your endeavors, and wish everybody a Merry Christmas in advance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bassi. Indeed, we hope that the voter turnout would actually increase as a result of this type of or this kind of sessions happening, not just at the Cross River movement, but with other organizations as well. I got a call this morning to attend an event organized by Women in Leadership, and of course I know it's the same election thing they're talking about. So hopefully we are very optimistic that the election turnout and the number of invalid votes will actually reduce and we'll have a better election outcome. All right, so now we would like to invite Mrs. Antonia Umbobi to have a session with us. She is the Head of Department, Voter Education and Training, INEC, Cross River State. So, Madam Antonia, please, you have the floor. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, Lady Edidion, and also the founder of the organization. You have been doing a good work, and we really appreciate all your efforts. And we believe that these efforts you are putting to ensure that stakeholders participate in election process will be very rewarding. I want to say that right now, like the founder said, is already less than 60 days to the election. And basically, everybody is a critical stage because we all want to be sure that everything is in place. INEC is preparing for the election, and so far, there's ongoing collection of permanent voters' cards. This permanent voters' cards collection by the rightful owner started since June 2021, side by side with the registration. But I don't know, I will say that there's slow. It is slow. But we are trying everything possible to be sure that everybody gets their permanent voters cards. When the last batch of permanent voters cards came last week, when they delivered on December 2nd, for them to be given to people from Monday 12th, the electoral officers in Cross River State were told to have stakeholders meeting and go into the wards. They went into the 193 wards to distribute the PVCs. And their report from 12 to 18, so they were in the wards. And their report was impressive. And again, we want to use this opportunity to tell people that the PVC's collection will end on 22nd of January 2023. And we still plead that people should go to the LGAs their polling units fall under. The LGAs, the LGAs they choose to vote. They should go there and collect their PVCs. INEC is ready with the PVCs for the fresh registrants, PVCs for those that transferred, PVCs for any updates, all the people that did replacements or damaged PVCs or defaced PVCs, they are already in the LGAs waiting to be collected. And we hope that with this platform, people will hear too and go and collect. Apart from the PVC's collection, we have an ongoing delivery of non-sensitive materials in our office, like election bags, mats for camp. All these things are being delivered. We all know that sensitive materials will be delivered on the week of elections through the central bank. They will be taken to central bank. From there, that is where they will be taken to the LGAs. But for non-sensitive materials, we have been receiving. And also, trainings have been going on, especially on beavers. I mean, the biometric voter accreditation in route training of the ones to put the beavers for people. So that's where we are for now. So many things are going on. So that's where we are for now. Eddie, are you hearing me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just before you leave, Ma, you said you were going to spend like some 30 minutes with us. So just before you leave,
Yes.
a few questions for participants will be given the opportunity to ask questions so that you can attend to some of those sensitive questions about regarding INEC's procedure and processes just before you leave. So we can actually take questions now, but before people start asking questions, I'd like you to explain, ma'am, what is the process of this voting thing? We understand that there's privacy, there has to be privacy for every voter, for every eligible voter. So before we get to the voting poll, the box itself, what are the stages they need to pass, the verification, the BVAS, the accreditation rather, checking of their cards and all before they are given the ballot papers to vote? Please, can you take us through that process?
The truth with the 2022 Electoral Act, you must vote with the permanent voter's card. If you don't have your permanent voter card, there's no need going to the polling unit. That is one. Then you must go to the polling unit where you yourself choose to vote. Because if you go to another polling unit, I'm sure your name will not be there because all the polling units are customized. So that is what is happening. Then when you get to the polling unit, then they will use BVAS. BVAS will be used to authenticate that you are the rightful owner. And gone are the days that incident forms are used, because it's either the beavers, you will use your thumbprint, and if the thumbprint doesn't fit your card, they will use the facial. Your face will be used, and the thumbprints. The two people don't have the same thumbprints, they say, and even facial is more perfect than any other one. So these two will be used to check whether you're there. Will be used to check and accredit the voter before you are now giving a ballot paper. And when you are giving a ballot paper, you go to the cubicle, because the mode of voting is secret voting. So you go to the cubicle and cast your votes there to the party you want to vote. And we have seen a lot of times that some people go to the cubicle and they raise their ballot paper to show people that are following them around, maybe they are party people or people that want them to vote for them. It is wrong that people, after voting, they carry their ballot paper up to show their friends that, oh, I voted party A or I voted party B. It's wrong. And we don't take photographs too near the cubicles so that people will be allowed to cast their vote secretly. So, and after that stage, you now come out quietly. And when you come out, you either go or stay 300 yards away from the polling unit so that you don't disturb other people. So that is it about voting in the polling unit. You wait there until after the voting process, then everybody will come together for sorting and counting. And after counting, the results will be written in the EC81 form. Then the next process is the snapping of the image of the election results to the cloud, to IREF portal, result viewing portal of INEC, INEC result viewing portal. That is the IREF, and it will be done in good time. That is, some people had asked, oh, there are people that are offline and online, and we have tried to explain that the beavers work like fool. When you send something to somebody and you are where there's no network, as soon as you enter where there's network, the thing goes on automatically. So that is it. I hope you're there.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Thank you so much for throwing light on the IREF, because I was actually going to ask about how people can view results online. I learned about the IREF on INEC portal, and I saw that it was a very, very important innovation in the forthcoming election. So that's to say, people can view election results in real time. So yes, that means there'll be no room for the results to be manipulated. But I saw a post on Twitter from one of the opposition, and this is actually from one of the major persons in the opposition parties, right? Where there were things like they were going to bring in high technology to sort of alter, clone the website, alter the result and things like that. Is there a possibility of such happening?
I think I've listened to INEC chairman where he said that there are people had tried several times to hack the INEC portal and all that, but they've not succeeded. They from different cities in the world, and they did not succeed. That means the portal is fortified.
Thank you very much, panelists. That gives us some level of confidence. I'll just like to quickly move on to how is the election, or how is the election procedure designed to be very inclusive in such a way that persons living with disabilities and persons with special needs, pregnant women, those who can't see, all of those needs are met at the election polls? How are the processes or proceedings designed in their favor?
Yes, during the training of the persons manning the polling units, that's the presiding officers, who are 100% corpers. They are all told to be mindful of elderly persons, of pregnant women, and even people living with disability, so that immediately they see them queue, they will bring them forward and attend to them. And even where there's culture of people not, men not lining up with women, or if they don't want, they told them respect their culture, let them line separately. So all these things are taught to the presiding officers or the election personnel during training. And also, I want to say that this will not be 2023. Devices will be provided for different disabled persons. We have always provided magnifying glasses for people that have sight problems, braille for others, and we will continue to do that. We will continue to do that even in 2023. We will continue. Is there any other question or something?
Like, Mrs. Ebigwa is frozen. I do have a couple of questions. So my first question would be, as a voter, how long, and I know this may vary from one polling unit to another, but how long should I expect to spend at the polling station, to be able to complete the whole exercise of verification and voting?
Well, our ICT people, we tried to do it, to practicalize it ourselves in training, and it was taking like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and we even think it will be better because that was during training, and we know by the time they perfect after the training, everybody will, it will come down. It will be faster.
Oh, Madam, just to clarify, are you saying 5 minutes to complete both the verification and the voting?
I mean, you come, they look at you are accredited, then you go to your cubicle, they are giving ballot paper, you go to your cubicle to fill it and drop and go.
Okay, so within 5 minutes, someone should be able to complete the whole procedure.
It is expected so. It is expected, we believe so.
Okay.
It depends on the presiding officer, because but they are being trained to be faster, and we hope they will do so.
Okay, so just to also clarify this, because I think in the past, people would come and they would first of all do accreditation, and then voting will now start later. So 2 separate processes. So what you're saying now is that someone coming
in 2023, accreditation and voting will go on simultaneously.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good development. Interesting. Okay. The other question I have, you talked about snapping the results and uploading it to the INEC platform. And then there was also talk about something called IREV, which I'm hearing about for the first time. What exactly?
INEC results viewing portal.
Okay, so just can you please explain what this is and what people should expect on election day?
Yes, this is what BVAS does. BVAS is used for, there are three things BVAS is used for registration, for accreditation, and for uploading to IREF portal. So after the results, after writing the results on the EC8A form, the polling unit result sheets, the presiding officer is expected to snap the result sheets and upload it to the IRF portal. And if it's uploaded to IRF portal, everybody globally will see it. That is it. It cannot be changed. I've heard people say, oh, they will hack, they will do this. It cannot be changed. And again, it cannot be changed because it's not data, it's an image. You understand? It's image that is being uploaded. It's not like it's data, so you can change the figures. You can't change figures because it's just the image that is uploaded. So that's about IREV.
I can hear you, madam.
Okay, yes. Madam, sorry, I didn't realize that I was muted. So from what you said, it means that on the election day, I should be able to go to the INEC website, maybe drill down to my local government, my ward, my polling unit, and see a photograph of the result sheet for that polling unit.
If you subscribe to the IRF portal on that day, the IRF portal will be open to all. Then you will see all the results
When you
have been uploaded there.
When you say subscribe, when can we subscribe to the IRF portal?
On election day. On election day, it will be open for all.
Not before.
Why should it be before when it's for results?
No, because a subscription, technically speaking, a subscription should be something that you can subscribe, and obviously you won't see anything before, but you subscribe in advance because if INEC is waiting for you to subscribe on the day, that portal is likely to crash. That's just the truth. Because of the volume.
Well, let's leave it to the ICT people, so they can. I'm sure they know it. This IREV is not new. It was used successfully in Oshu election. It was used successfully in Ekiti election. It was used successfully in Anambra election. So 2023 elections will not be the first election it will be used. And we believe and hope it will also be successful like other times used.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's very interesting. The other, I'm sure maybe there may be other questions, but maybe my last question will be on security. So I assume that, of course, INEC will be partnering with the security agencies to try and ensure that there's adequate security at the polling units. In Cross River State, there are 193, which is a huge number. What are the plans to police?
Okay, just yesterday, incidentally, just yesterday, the resident electoral commissioner, who is the chairman of the umbrella committee on security, while the commissioner of police is the co-chairman. They met yesterday. The committee is called Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. Yesterday, they met in INEC office yesterday, and they have membership of all the military and paramilitary agencies, and they all turned up for the meetings, 17 of them, including EFCC, ICPC, all customs, immigration, Navy, Army, SSS, they were all complete here yesterday. And they had their meeting. And we know they are on top of the game for security. They are meeting, and the meeting is a continuous one, just to make sure that in Cross River State, everything about security it will be taken care of.
All right, thank you, madam.
Okay. Lady Edidion, are you on? Will let me go to join another meeting.
Okay, I'm here. Thank you, ma. Sorry, network is trying to kick me out, but I'm back on. Thank you so much for all the insights you've shared. You really I think what you have shared so far is quite new to so many of us, and we're grateful that you were able to give us your time to share some of those updates. Like you said, you were going to give us updates on where INEC is and what we look forward to expect in the 2023 election. So thank you so much. And I think we're happy to let you go now. I said we have questions, a few more questions from other participants. Gordon, do you have any questions?
Well, my only concern is that I'm worried that the time for the distribution of PVCs is quite short. They should have left it at least 2 days to the election before they stop, because I have spoken with a couple of persons who said they are having challenges traveling to their polling units or to their local governments to get these PVCs here in Cross River State. And I think that would be a challenge. So I would have appealed that INEC should extend the distribution to at least 2 days to the election. I mean, that would not be too bad. That's the only concern I have.
Okay, that one is a policy statement. That one will come from the headquarters. If they have to have a change of it, it will come from the commission itself.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll just do with what the commissioner said. We'll just stay that and ensure that those who are yet to get our PVCs, we try to encourage them, pet them, and nurse them to go and collect their PVCs within the time frame. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think we can let you go now.
Thank you, my dear. Bye.
Bye, and have a great day.